Really quick, if you need a recap of Season 2 of The Witcher, and I'm sure you do, just hit the tab in the upper right-hand corner. It'll take you right to my Season 2 recap. Now, Season 3 picks up a few months after the ending of Season 2, and a lot of people are looking for Ciri. Francesca is one of those people. She's hell-bent on finding Ciri and being first. She's united with other elves, but they're getting sick of her, because they're trying to take their land back, while she's running these secret missions. For what purpose, they don't know. Only her closest advisors know why she's doing this. One particular elven soldier named Gallatin is fed up. For the last few months, the elves, in order to take their land back, have been attacking caravans, but it's been costly. He wants Francesca's help, but she's held back her best soldiers to run these secret missions, and he's sick of losing elves. This causes a pretty tense argument between the two. Vizimir is also looking for Ciri. He blames Dijkstra because Dijkstra promised that Ciri would be his, and so far, it hasn't been the case. He really just wants her to prove that he is the king, prove he has some wielding power. One of the excuses that Dijkstra makes is the fact that they keep getting attacked by elves, but Vizimir doesn't want to hear it. He wants results. He wants Ciri. In order to speed up the process, he's going to put his brother Radovid on the job. From a quick glance, though, Radovid just kind of looks like a playboy partier. Not exactly someone you take seriously. Philippa and Dijkstra get together to actually plan on how to get Ciri, because they know that they're actually the ones who are pulling the strings. Neither of them want to deal with Radovid, but Philippa agrees to keep an eye on him. She does, however, say that if she does this, she'll be the one calling the shots when she gets back. The final person who's really searching for her is Rience. He bought a monster off a couple of junkies, and this monster is able to search out elven blood. He feels like that'll be the quickest way to find Ciri. And why has Ciri been so hard to locate? It's because she's been traveling with Yennefer and Geralt, and they move constantly. Geralt is having Yennefer teach Ciri magic, but it's been an uphill battle. Ciri has promise, but she has no skills. And anytime they seem to find a home, something pops up and they have to move. Geralt can't keep doing this, so he calls on his old buddy Yarpen. He knows that Yarpen will use discretion, not tell anybody where they are, and hopefully they can lay low and just take this time where Yennefer can train Ciri. And Geralt's been really good about staying out of it. He's been keeping an eye on it, but he's letting Yennefer do her thing. Yennefer, however, is no Tissaia, and she knows this. Because she's having such a hard time teaching Ciri how to use her gifts, she's getting more and more frustrated. Ciri, however, has a pretty good attitude about it. She would, though, like to do something else. Hanging out with Yennefer and Geralt, it's cool, but, a girl needs to get out every once in a while. And Yarpen has the perfect opportunity for this. Yarpen tells everybody that they're having a festival down in the valley, and he invites all of them. And both Yennefer and Ciri want to go. As Ciri says, it's been months since anyone's been asking about me. She feels like it's safe, and everyone's kind of forgotten about her. And boy, is she wrong on that front. Geralt, however, wants to take a more cautious approach, but he's outvoted, and they decide to go to the festival, using disguises. Very poor disguises. During this crowded festival, Ciri runs off into a maze, while Geralt and Yennefer kind of hold back. In these past few months, the sexual tension between these two has been building, but it hasn't transpired in anything. And they're reminded about why they haven't messed around and how to keep the eye on the prize when they're attacked by Rience's monster. He shows up in this maze to attack Ciri, and Ciri tries to use her training from Yennefer, but she needs Yennefer's help, ultimately. It's Yennefer and Geralt who end up killing the beast. But because of this, they know that it's still not safe. They need to put an end to this because they just can't keep running. Because of the kind of monster, Geralt knows who sold Rience the monster just based on how rare it is and how dumb it would be to trap that sort of thing. He also knows that this particular fella would have people in the bars. So what he wants to do is he wants to have Yarpen kind of lay a trap. Go to the local pubs and just talk about how he has to transport this spoiled brat. Word will quickly get out, and these people will show up. Rience will be there. He'll think that he's going to attack Ciri, but he's walking into a trap. If all goes according to plan, they'll be able to get rid of Rience for good. In order to make this believable, though, they need to have Ciri ride without Yennefer and Geralt. They need to make this look legit. But they're not willing to let her ride alone. They want to have her ride with someone they can trust, and that person is Jaskier. They have Yarpen go and tell him, hey, your friends need help, and it can't come at a worse time. Because Jaskier just had a conversation with Philippa about the same thing. Philippa wants results. They're paying Jaskier a pretty handsome amount of money to locate Ciri, and so far he hasn't done it. So at the moment, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He doesn't want to help Philippa and Dijkstra. He wants to help Ciri. But he's kind of at the moment just kicking the can down the road. He does end up following Yarpen, and while they travel, they go through the plan. Jaskier isn't a big fan of this idea. It's pretty risky, but both Yennefer and Geralt let him know, we saved your life before, we can save it again. Don't worry, we're using Ciri as the bait, not you. The group heads to a place called Shaerrawedd. It's a sacred elven area with a giant statue of an elven leader named Elloren. The condensed version of the story is she went head-to-head against the humans and lost. In order to defend her land and stick up for what she believed in, she ultimately led her people to the slaughter. While they don't know it, it ironically sounds like what's going on with Francesca, who, just like Rience, has gotten word about this convoy carrying Ciri. And just like Rience, she has no idea it's a trap. She's going to need help, though, if she's going to take Ciri alive. She knows she needs to make good with Gallatin, so she tells him, I've thought about what you said and I've reconsidered. You're right. We need to work together. I'm going to give you my best soldiers to attack the next caravan. Never telling Gallatin about what's in that caravan. So now you've got Rience and you've got the elves heading to the same place to try to find the same girl, both not realizing it's all a trap. And that girl has had a lot of time to do some soul searching. She's human, but she's also elven. And she's sick of the infighting. She's sick of all of it. She would like to find a way forward that doesn't divide, but instead unites. After all, she is the only one who knows how both of the sides feel. Geralt thinks it's noble, but also thinks it's foolish. It'll never work. There's just been too much bad blood between the groups for too long. Ciri, however, is just way more positive thinking. She thinks that maybe this is why this trio was brought together. For Geralt to teach her how to fight, for Yennefer to teach her how to harness her powers, all in the name of the greater good. Geralt starts to tell her how he believes her in what she says, but then he hears that the people they're waiting for are coming, and it's time for him and Yennefer to take their places. About a minute later, that is when Rience and his people show up. And all that training that she did with Geralt, it worked. She's able to hold her own. Just in enough time for Geralt and Yennefer to pop out and attack. Yarpen and his people also join the fight on behalf of Ciri and her side. And realizing that he's been outnumbered, Rience tries to open up a portal and escape. But Yennefer is able to keep the portal open long enough to allow Geralt to jump through and hopefully kill Rience. Yennefer is struggling big time. She feels a darkness in this portal that's seeping into her. She's trying to hold it as long as possible, waiting for Geralt to pop on through. It's taking him a while, though, because Rience is holding him off with his fire magic. It's also worth mentioning that Geralt has no idea where they are. Geralt also doesn't know that Francesca and the other elves have shown up. And Gallatin is pissed off when they show up and there is no caravan. And he finds out that he's been duped by Francesca. But Francesca tells him the girl is all that matters. So you've got this battle going on between these groups. Ciri in the middle of it. Yennefer trying to keep this portal open. And Geralt trying to kill Rience. And it's kind of just a shit show. Francesca starts to scold Yennefer at one point about why she thinks that Ciri belongs to her, but Yennefer uses her magic to knock Francesca out. It's only a matter of time, though, before the portal closes and Geralt is stuck in this building for good. He realizes this, so even though he has Rience dead to rights, he decides to take his power away from him by breaking both of his hands and jumping through the portal. The group then is easily able to fight everybody off, with Francesca and the elves retreating. Once they're able to get to safe ground, Yennefer tells Geralt, I have to take her to Aretuza. There's only so much I can do. She'll be best suited there. Geralt is hesitant to give the okay to do this. He's worried about Ciri in Aretuza. And Yennefer says, then come with us. Watch over her. If it's not safe, pull her out. A very reluctant Geralt agrees, but he's not coming with. He knows that he needs to find Rience and finish him off. He's just scared. He's scared for Ciri, and he also is still hesitant to trust Yennefer. Ultimately, though, he knows that he has to get past that. He has to give her a chance to show that she's trustworthy. So when they wake up the next morning, they're going to go their separate ways, with Yennefer and Ciri going to Artusa to better harness her magical powers, and Geralt heading off to go finish off Rience. But Geralt probably should have headed with them, because Rience is in Artusa. One of the reasons why Yennefer wanted to take Ciri there is because she knows that Rience isn't the master. He's not the one calling the shots or somebody above him, and that person is Stregobor. The place where Rience and Geralt were fighting was Artusa, but because Geralt has never been there before, he didn't know. And deep in Artusa, Stregobor, using his powers, has fixed Rience's hands, and he's back to being able to conjure fire magic. As for the other people who are looking for Ciri, that was the final straw for Gallatin. He's had enough. He got duped and hoodwinked, and he's going to go get help from an old friend to deal with Francesca. Before he does that, though, he stops off and helps one of his injured soldiers. It's Dara. And Dara admits that he does know Ciri, and he actually warned them that she was dangerous. So that kind of just adds to Gallatin's thought process that Francesca needs to go. But after the battle that took place, Jaskier can't do this anymore. He meets with Philippa and Radovid, and he agrees to their demands to get Ciri. Because, as he tells both of them, Ciri's in danger and the people around her are also in danger. It would just be best if she landed somewhere safe. Figure Redania is as good of a place as any. Jaskier agrees to basically hand her over, but he does so under one condition. They get rid of Rience. As soon as Rience is gone, he'll hold up his end of the bargain. He adds in that by doing this, it'll also help because you'll gain Ciri's trust. Thank you so much for checking out this recap. Please consider subscribing to the channel and subscribing to my Patreon. Hit thumbs up if you liked it. Smash that thumbs down button if you thought it sucked. If you left a comment, I don't get back to you. I usually don't check the comments unless they're like a super comment. Also, if you don't see the next video up on the end screen, not to worry, it'll be up in a day or two.